Are we going live? Hit the intro.
And now here's your host, Nick Bodkins.
Is it messed up? Oh, now it says I'm live. Welcome. I don't even know if the intro didn't play on my computer. So I don't know if it's still playing, not playing. I don't know what we're doing here. It did this earlier when I was with Ryan. Welcome to another great LTS show.
I'm just bringing everybody on. What's going on, people? welcome to the LTS show. This is the behind the scenes bloopers edition, obviously, of the LTS show.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Oh man, that was good intro. Thank you, CK. All right, thanks for coming to the show. This is the LTS show. Nick is trying to get reconnected because his internet sucks. I am Johnny Cruz. I am not Mr. First Down. Let me fix that.
Oh, you could be. You could be. We could just change your names.
I am Johnny Cruz. You can follow me at the Yankee Fan. We got Mr. Sam Dean with his beautiful baby boy, Ben. At Mr. First Down. You can follow him on Twitter. And, of course, the Hall of Famer, Scott Cobe, Mr. SJ Cobe1 on, not Twitter, X. Whatever. We got a fun show for you guys today. We're doing the NFC West today. We're previewing them. We got a special guest with us. He decided to join us again. There he is.
This is S.J. Cobe.
What's up? There he is. Internet has been giving us problems, folks. So sorry about the hectic open. Welcome to the show. This is the LTS show.
Sorry, y'all. It is sabotage already. Somebody's sabotaging me, man. I swear to God.
Tanner.
You know,
Yeah. Tanner's in Milwaukee hitting the little buttons to get us off track here. So.
Yeah. I can't even see myself on the screen. There I am. So there's that. Welcome, folks, to another LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Thanks. Once I'm here, I'll get your host. You know what I mean? Welcome, boys. It's another great Thursday. It's our NFC West preview show, man. I'm excited. Can't wait. Man, this is a team. One of these teams went to the NFC Championship game. One of these teams won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. One of these teams, the Seahawks, surprised everybody last year. And one of these teams looks like it's fucking tanking the whole year, and it's going for the number one pick already. So there's that. We're going to be breaking it all down. But before we get going here, Johnny, I got to ask you, how nervous were you for the Yankees to lose 10 straight last night, and Aaron Judge just put the whole team on his back and said, we're not doing that?
I mean, I wasn't really nervous. I mean, when you get to this point, like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. We suck. It's a bad season. So, you know what I'm saying? What's 10 losses in a row? You know what I'm saying? Except the fact that it went back to, 1930-something, the last time that we lost 10 in a row. So, that was crazy. The tweet that you sent out about the first time that they lost 9 games since 1982, which was before any active player was even born. So yeah, that shot me right back to my childhood when I watched the Yankees and they sucked. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
There's only 2 players in the league that have ever seen the Yankees this bad. It's Rich Hill and Adam Wainwright that are on active MLB rosters.
God. So Adam Wainwright, God, Scott and myself and Keith are the only ones that have seen, because none of you guys were alive either. Or you were, right? When were you born? 90? Nick?
No, I was born in 87, brother.
87. Okay, so you still weren't born. Sam wasn't born, so it was just me and Scott.
I mean, Scott was 40 then, so I mean, he's wrote it all.
I was gonna say, yeah, Scott was a grown man. You know
I mean, Scott was there when the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees. So,
I love this show.
But
Yes, welcome to the train.
Babe Ruth.
What's up, Alan?
He was that pitcher that we gave up for.
Scott, who we betting on tonight? Who we betting on tonight?
So we bet on baseball is slowing down now because football is starting soon. So I'm starting to kind of transfer into football. But I took Texas, I took the Dodgers, and then as I said on my show earlier tonight, I did a little parlay on a golf pick. I know it's not very popular, but Victor Hovland and Nikolai Hogard in 2 separate tournaments to win will pay me 90 times my money if they both win. So I saw it last night on CBSSports.com. So I said, that sounds pretty good. I put it in, and so far, so good. Hovland's leading the Tour Championship tournament. Hogard's, sniffing the lead pretty close to his tournament. So, if the cash out gets up to like over $200, I'm cashing it out because, you can't golf is a funny game. You can lose shots quickly. So,
I mean, it's wild that you even bet on golf. Sure. So props to you, bro.
Yeah. It's not always me. It's sometimes you got to listen to other people and look into it and say, yeah, that sounds like a good pick. So I got to do it. So,
Scott, tell them to close the fucking window in the nursing home. I hear crickets chirping, or is that somebody like dying, or is that your brain thinking?
That's my brain thinking. No, I'm out on the porch right now. I'm on my porch.
I can hear crickets.
It's a nice night.
Hey, listen,
that's half my brain is on crickets. So half my brain on crickets.
Those are the people in the comment section.
It's part of the show. I got shitty internet. You got crickets in your bed. It's all right.
It's Sam.
Let's go ahead. I don't want to. Yeah, and Sam's a bad influence because he's letting his kid carry around people who curse and shit. Anyway.
Howdy, boys.
Sam, how you doing, brother?
Eat the food, kid. Yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, God.
I'm doing okay. The boy is putting it away. He is growing. So, happy to be here. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I guess it's Thursday since we're all together. So that's nice.
It is Thursday.
Hey, yeah, you guys know what this is survival mode when the kid's first here. So you're just like, what day? Cool. And you just got to move on with your life.
We appreciate you taking time out of the day and joining us, Sam. So we appreciate it. We always need you, and we know you need this as well as you're holding down the baby boy. I don't want to keep our guest waiting and anybody else waiting. You guys, our guest tonight is a guy who, I mean, let's face it, the Rams could probably use this guy in their backfield right now, in their secondary right now, because they traded Jalen Ramsey away. They have absolutely dog shit defense. So, this guy can actually play. He's suited up, played in some arena leagues. You can catch him here on the Let's Talk Sports show on the Let's Talk Sports Network. It's Bo Talks Football, baby.
That's what he talks about, football, baby.
What's going on, Bo?
Hut, gridiron.
This is a really smooth start to the show.
It's not rocky at all. Hey, before we start, Scott, is that wood paneling? Nice.
He's on his porch.
That was cutting edge.
I've been relegated to the porch by the nursing home. So,
you and Keith at it again. Huh?
Yeah, we finally got a nice night here in Boston, so I figured I'd try to take advantage of the nice night I could. But crickets are killing me. So,
there's nice nights in Boston. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the train wreck, bro.
Yeah, right.
Bo, welcome. How you doing, brother?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Always. We appreciate you joining us. Bo, let's jump right into it. I mean, you're a Seahawks guy. how do you feel before we start going to these divisions? Your Seahawks, I mean, surprised everybody last year. I would say they were the number one surprise team of the year. Made the playoffs, right? Or missed it? Did they miss it? I don't remember. They were close.
No, they made it.
They made it, right? Okay, I've smoked too much weed since then. So made the playoffs. Geno Smith surprised the world. I thought they were going to be a bottom 5 team. What's the expectations right now in Seattle?
So for the fan base at large, they are a little higher on them than I tend to be a little more realistic. But, around the Northwest, they're thinking they are a 11, maybe 12-win team, potentially take the Niners down. I tend to have a little more realistic viewpoint when it comes to sports. So although their team did get significantly better from last season, especially on the defensive side, specifically the defensive front seven, they get a lot better, but they're probably only going to end up with one more win. So they'll probably be a 10-7 finish for the Hawks, and probably another wild card entry.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's go ahead. We'll start breaking down these divisions. We're going to start off with the defending champions. That's the 49ers.
And away we go.
Away we go. That's right, Sam. Went to the NFC Championship game last year. Mm-hmm. What the 49ers, yeah, I mean, probably could have won that game if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt and they're down to Josh Johnson as their 4th string quarterback, needless to say. But depending on who you talk to in 49er land, they don't want Brock Purdy as their QB. And there's guy maybe Trey Lance, and that's another, thing, and we'll talk about that later. But 49ers win this division, Bo, if what?
If they can keep a quarterback on the field. I mean, even when they had – well, they weren't really out of that championship game until Christian McCaffrey started taking snaps. As soon as you have a running back taking snaps because you ran out of quarterbacks, you're not going to win many games in the NFL. But, I mean, it doesn't matter who's under center, but they need someone to consistently be there. So that'll be the thing. Like they can win this division for sure if they can keep a quarterback from, leaving in an ambulance.
Okay, before I get to they don't win the division, I forgot to tell you the people they added. So the 49ers in the offseason added Jake Brendel, Javon Hargrave, a stud, Kerry Hayter, and Tashawn Gibson Sr. Gone is guys of Aziz Al-Sher, Jimmy Ward, Jimmy G is gone, Mike McGlinchey, their tackle, Samson Umke, and Charles I don't even know how to say his last name, so let's forget about it. And then let's get into their draft class real quick, if I can find them. Usually I have better notes, but I just didn't have time today, so that shit happens.
Too much weed.
There they
smoked it all the notes away.
Actually, I was just too busy today.
You guys were just working on that intro.
I think we nailed it.
We spent 45 minutes today practicing the intro. The internet's being slow here. I shouldn't be the one clicking buttons. Anyway, Bo, the 49ers don't win this division if what?
If they have receivers taking snaps, I think that's pretty much the deal because they have so much talent. If they can just keep an actual quarterback on the field, I think they'd be all right. Maybe not with Trey Lance. He looked pretty terrible, but beyond that, I think I think if they can keep a quarterback healthy, they win it, and if they can't, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I'll go ahead and go next since I got to control the board. I'm with Bo on that. I think Sam Darnold can honestly take them to the playoffs.
Yep.
I want to say Trey probably could too because they're not loaded. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Brock. I don't know about. I guess Brock Purdy, if he's healthy enough to play, will be able to do just enough. So I'm with Bo on that. If either Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy is playing, then they have a chance to win this division. They don't win the division if the defense somehow, winds up kind of falling off a bit. If they are middle of the pack defense and they're not as dominating of a defense that they are, then the lack of a good quarterback, I think, will show. So I think the defense needs to play ball the way they've been playing ball the last few years. And then the offense does what they do, run the ball a whole season with Christian McCaffrey. They should be straight. So they win it if they got a healthy quarterback, like Bo said, and then they lose it if that defense kind of falls to the middle of the pack.
They don't win. They don't win. Oh, you said that already, so you got it. Hey, Scott.
Good.
Hey guys,
I'm
we're
off
the
today,
flagship show. Did you know that?
I don't know what they were doing when they offered me to be the host. Scott.
Red
They
flag.
win the division.
Red flag show.
They win the
Oh,
division
man.
if Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk play well together as a combination. I think Brandon Ayuk is the best receiver on that 49ers receiver roster. I think he's better than Debo. I think he's better than anybody else they have. So if Brandon Ayuk steps up and becomes that number one wide receiver for Brock Purdy, I think the 49ers win the division. The 49ers don't win the division if Brock Purdy is not their starting quarterback for 17 games. If they have to go with Sam Darnold or Trey Lance, they will not win the division.
Sam, what about you? The 49ers win this division if what?
Hiya. Anyway, they win the division if Brock Purdy continues to grow. I think he did a great job considering he's definitely not a 7th round draft pick. But I think he was starting to get found out a little bit during the Cowboys game or whatnot. We kind of saw this with, I think it was Cooper Rush with the Cowboys. And they're like, oh my gosh, Cooper Rush looks amazing. And then you get found out. If he manages to stay on top of his game and take that next step, they win. They win that division.
They don't win if what?
They don't win if Kyle Shanahan calls some stupid bonehead plays that usually cost him the game every now and then. Or he keeps going back to there were several. Somebody had a markup for it. I was researching. I think they said like 48% of the time he keeps going back to the same play over and over again. Sometimes if it's not there, bud, it's just not there. And if you want to do Debo Samuel in the flat, go ahead. But if they've stopped it 3 times, it's probably not going to happen for you. That kind of thing.
Johnny, I want to ask you this real quick before I go. The 49ers traded with your Dolphins to trade up for Trey Lance, and that trade looks like an absolute shit show now, an absolute slam dunk for the Dolphins. In that trade, they got Tyreek. They were able to get Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, there's somebody else that I'm missing. They drafted
Jalen Waddle.
Right? So they turned that into that. And I mean, you got to feel pretty good, looking back now, here we are 4 years later.
Yeah. I mean, I said it when it happened. I thought the Dolphins had their eyes on Jalen Waddle the whole time. So for San Francisco to want to move up and be willing to give up all of that, I had no problem with that. I'm glad they made the second trade with Philly to move back up to ensure that they got Waddle, because I think he was exactly what Tua needed. I never imagined that those picks would wind up being Tyreek. And I mean, I was happy when it was just Tyreek. I was like, damn, we got Tyreek and Waddle out of that trade. So I'm good with that. You add on Bradley Chubb, and I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about that trade. Talk about a win for the Dolphins on that trade. And San Francisco, I don't know who was banging on the table for Trey Lance in that office during draft day, but that person is probably going to be packing up soon along with Trey Lance whenever they trade him.
That's the thing. It's funny you say that because I was just about to ask Bo. Bo, John Lynch has been a pretty good drafter. And I mean, he found Brock Purdy in the 7th round. But then he busted out here on Trey Lance. And the owner's got to be thinking, who's evaluating here and what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely seem to have guessed wrong. I mean, it doesn't say good things when you give up 3 first-round picks and your guy is now behind a dude that literally said he sees ghosts on the field. So that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. But the one thing that I'll give them credit for is they're not doubling down on a bad decision, right? They're not like, we gave up the moon to go get this guy and damn it, he's going to play. At least you can respect the fact that they're like, hey, we didn't do a good job here. Let's move on. And so, you know, you're going to get burned on draft picks. It just happens. It's part of the game. So it really, where you really show what you're about is what you do once you realize that he's not that guy. And to be honest, we still don't even know if he's that guy. He hasn't been healthy long enough to even know if he can play the game. But in that preseason game, he wasn't seeing the field very well because he had, almost 3.5 seconds to throw the ball consistently. And he got sacked 4 times, hit 9 more times. I mean, that's not exactly something you want to roll out for week 1.
Yeah, but Bo, let me ask before you guys go, couldn't we see this coming with Trey Lance? He didn't play hardly any college ball. He didn't take many snaps. He comes into the NFL and I thought they were going Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance. Couldn't we have saw this coming on draft day that something like this with Trey Lance was going to happen? He wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, the old adage, right, Scott, is you don't get better at something by not doing it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean,
I say that, but my
Kyle
internet
Shanahan
fucks up.
was
They
in
use
the
it every
Mac
day. It still
Jones
fucks
camp.
up. So, you know.
Kyle Shanahan was in the Mac Jones camp, I thought. And he was already set to draft Mac Jones. And John Lynch came in and said, no, we're taking Trey Lance. So, and I'll ask Bo, could you see this coming?
So, I mean, the thing is what they were drafting was his athletic upside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whenever you're drafting someone at athletic upside, you really don't know, right? You're like, okay, they're not a finished product. We hope it works. They have the tools to make it, enticing. And then you hope that they turn into a Lamar or something like that. But it could very easily go the other way. And so, that's why I say what you do from here, do you double down and make him the guy and hope it works, or do you move on with something that is working? And so, but yeah, I mean, you could have potentially seen it. The problem is because he was such a rough product. Yeah, there's a huge chance that he doesn't hit, but then there's the same amount of chance that he does because you just haven't seen enough from him to make an evaluation. Once he gets in, then he's hurt all the time. It's actually one of the things I didn't love about Tua, right? Is he couldn't stay healthy in college. He comes in, he gets hurt. He hasn't made it through yet. And I mean, that Dolphins team is awesome if we're back on the field. Now, can he stay healthy the whole time? I mean, I wouldn't put money on it. So you hope they do, but I mean, I don't know. And so Lance is kind of similar in that way. It's like, yeah, you hope he can stay healthy. I would bet that they try and move him before the trade deadline and they get a 3rd round at best for him.
Yeah.
I got a question on that front right there. The one thing I will say though is at least Tua showed that he can play when he was on the field. Not for nothing. But I'm with you there on that one. I'm every time he gets tackled, I'm gonna be flinching like if it was me. But and I said that when he got drafted. I was like, what I'm saying? Like I hope he stays healthy. But if you're a team out there, Bo, do you take a shot with him?
It depends.
And if you do, what are you giving up?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how bad your quarterback room is. And I mean, so could I see a Tampa Bay take a flyer on him? Maybe, right? Yeah. Baker's your best option. I mean, you know what that is. So it's like, well, maybe you take a flyer on him. Worst case, you're going to give up, a 3rd, maybe a 4th. It's going to be nothing. It's not going to be what the Cardinals just gave a linebacker away for, like a pack a big red and a pat on the ass. They obviously are trying to lose, but Tampa, I think, would probably be a team that could potentially take a swing because you don't have to give anything up. And if he works, cool. And if he doesn't, then you still have Baker, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, Bo. My last question for it, and then I'll go, and then we'll get to the Seahawks here. Why are there so many Trey Lance truthers out there? None of us live on the West Coast like you do, so maybe, and this is your division, but it seems like when I get on Twitter, there's a very select, fans that are very much like, this guy could walk on water, and it's Kyle Shanahan sabotaging him. It's he needs more reps with the ones. They've seen him in the field in practice for 3 fucking years, y'all. They know whether the guy has the it factor or not.
So here's the thing with that. It's the same type of fans that after the first preseason game for the Bears were like, Justin Fields the best quarterback on the planet. And right, because he went 3 for 3 for 129 and a touchdown. And they just omit the fact that he had -1 air yards on those passes. So kudos to him. He can throw to the flat. Woo! Like
a lot of guys can throw to the flat.
So I think Trey Lance could throw to the flat. So
yeah.
So I mean, it's those same guys. It's the ones that they're like, oh, the athletic ability is amazing. That's the dude. The problem is they always just forget about the fact that people get hurt. And in Lance's case, it just doesn't look like he can see the field. So, and I mean, process the field, not physically.
Yeah.
See it, right?
I mean, to Bo's point, Anthony Richardson, everybody fell in love with him when his 40-yard time was so fast that the Colts said, he's our quarterback. They looked at tape, but they didn't factor in the tape from college where he can't throw a ball deep down the field consistently and accurately. They just said, oh, he just ran a 4.340. Oh, he went on the broad jump. He jumped so high. We're going to take him. He's an athletic freak of nature. Can the guy play quarterback? Nobody knows.
So to your point there, I feel like Anthony Richards probably could have. He would have been so much better had he landed with a team like the Seahawks or something where he didn't have to roll out week 1 because his game doesn't support rolling out week 1. He has, athletic ability like nothing else, but his deep ball is actually his best ball. He misses guys in close range at a much higher rate than deep balls. So he would have been way better off with a team like Seattle where they have a great player development system. And
we talked about that on when you came on the show before, Bo, that we all said that it would be a great fit there. You let Gino mentor him for a year.
Yep. So, I mean, and unfortunately, he's going to go out there week 1 and he's going to get absolutely barbecued and throw so many picks.
Hey, I got a question real quick before we move on. You touched on Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I personally thought that the Jets should have taken him 2 overall in that draft. Sure. And at the worst, I thought San Francisco was going to wind up taking him, and he wound up dropping all the way to where the Bears were able to trade up. Yep. But I thought he was basically Trey Lance with experience and playing time. So I didn't understand why they bypassed the fact that Trey hadn't played in 2 years and picked him instead of going for Justin Fields. Do you think Justin Fields, if he's in a 49er uniform right now, is he playing good football? I mean, I know you kind of semi took a backhanded shot at him, with the comment you made. But if he's in San Francisco the last couple years, is he balling out over there?
Probably, yeah. Because I mean, the problem with the Bears is their offensive line was terrible. He didn't have any help, and he was running for the ball all the time. That's why I said we don't even know if he can throw the ball. He hasn't had a chance to.
When the player's hitting you in 2 seconds, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of time to look down the field. I'm going to say this: the 49ers win this division if Brock Purdy plays well, CMC stays healthy as well, and they get him for a full season too. When they got him, they went on that great run. They don't win this division if Brock Purdy isn't who he thought he was. You know what I mean? Like if he looked like that dude for those 5-6 games that we saw him, played great. But if he regresses or he's not the same after this injury, because he had pretty much Tommy John surgery, and if he's not the same after that, that's when they won't win this division. And if the team we're about to talk about, both Seahawks, if they take that next leap, that we can think. So let's get into the Seahawks here. Last year they went 9-8. Oh, Let me give you their offseason breakdown. So they kept Bobby Wagner, brought in Devin Bush, DeMonte Jones, re-signed Geno, brought in Jaron Reed, and Julian Love. Gone is Cody Barton, Poona Ford, and Rashad Penny. His services were no longer needed.
I mean, we weren't using him anyway.
Yeah, he was.
Sorry, Rashad, you're fired. Your services are no longer needed. Take a hike. See you later.
Well, once they got Walker, they realized that those guys were he was no longer needed. So, Bo, this team wins the division if what?
So this team wins the division if the defense makes the step forward that it's supposed to, and that the offense can keep pace with what it did last year. Obviously, everyone has to stay healthy. That's a key to winning a division no matter what, right? Everybody has to stay on the field. But, some of the things that they added interior offensive line in the draft, right? So now instead of having Walker getting hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe they can open some holes up. He'll be less likely to get injured because he doesn't have 300-pound dudes hitting him. He's got 250-pound dudes hitting him. The front seven, again, going to be way better. They brought in, the Wagner's back. They brought in a couple of linebackers through the draft and free agency. They brought in a couple of edge rushers during free agency and the draft. You add another dynamic corner in Witherspoon coming in. Michael Jackson actually played really well opposite of Tariq Woolen. Exactly. So then all of a sudden, it's an embarrassment of riches in that secondary. So that secondary is going to be really good. So if your front seven can just be average, that'll be a really good defense. I still think it'll only end up being like a 14th, 15th ranked defense. They're not going to be, elite yet. Everybody's pretty young, but it'll be leaps and bounds over what they did last year because they were giving up almost 200 yards rushing a game. And if you had a tight end run a seam route or a slant, it was yardage all day. So if you are a defensive fan like me, I'm surprised I had any hair left at all because you're just like, just tackle someone. So, but yeah, I mean, they can win their division if the defense comes together and the offense can just do exactly what it did last year.
Johnny, they don't win the division if what?
If Geno regresses for some reason, I think that would be one of the biggest reasons they wouldn't do it. I don't think that'll happen just because of the way he produced all his yards and everything last year. It was it was mostly smart gameplay. It wasn't anything crazy athletic or above and beyond. Like it was all just smart football. So mostly it'll either come down to him regressing or the Seahawks still not being able to stop the run because we're going to go up against some teams that can run the ball this season.
Johnny, what about you? The Seahawks win this division if what?
They win the division if Geno can go a little better than what he did this past season. Like Bo said, he wasn't phenomenal, but he was more than a game manager, in my opinion. I mean, he made some plays when they needed him to make some plays. I love the running game. Pete Carroll went back to his old let's run the rock. I love the addition of Zach Charbonnet. I think that's going to take a little pressure off of Walker as well. You mentioned the additions to the offensive line. If Geno can,
I love them.
Yeah, if Geno can just make another play or two when needed, I think they could win. I think they could win the division. But I think it's totally on him. So if they don't win the division, if Geno stays at par or regresses at any, like I said, I think he needs to just. And I mean, he's still fairly young, so I think he can do a little better. But if he regresses at all, then I don't think they can win the division.
So
yeah, go ahead, Bo.
I was going to say, so here's an interesting thing for you because it's something that didn't get a lot of national coverage. Is obviously everybody paid attention to his QBR, right? Like because it was one of the best in the league. But what they didn't really publicize too much is I don't know how much of a step forward he could really take. He set the Seahawks single season passing record last year with 4,400 yards roughly. So I mean, I don't think he's going to throw for more yards.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, maybe that key play against San Francisco to win the division. You know what I'm saying? Like that big play when it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Don't throw that bad pick. Or don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't have the bad game against San Francisco when you have a chance to win it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by, it may not be physically getting, even mentally just getting better with the game and controlling the game and stuff like that. Because I'm more than happy for him. I mean, he got shit on so bad when he was with the Jets, man. Like I felt so bad for him. I was happy that you know what I'm saying, that he got another chance in Seattle, and then he was actually playing well. So I was excited for him, but I think it's all on him because I think the defense is going to be better. That secondary is ridiculous. So I think that and the running game, like I mentioned, they have everything else around him. If he can, if he can go toe to toe against the San Francisco or something like that, they can win this division.
I want to go over their draft class, and then I want to back up to the 49ers, Scott, so you can give us our betting angle and our fantasy. I forgot to get to those real quick, but we're all over the place. It's just my brain. So the Seahawks draft class, they brought in Devin Witherspoon, one of the number 5 overall pick. Got in J.S. Jackson Smith Nabigba, at number 20. So they had 2 first-round picks. Derek Hall. I was surprised at this pick, Bo, and you can maybe tell me why they picked Zach Charbonnet,
the running back.
Why him out of UCLA after what Kenneth Walker just did?
Oh, so it's funny because the Hawks actually got killed for this in draft grades for some reason. I can tell you exactly why they did this, because they haven't had a starting running back not land on IR since 2014.
Okay. So depth reasons they've been spurred. Hey, that's all we need to know. Thanks, Bo.
Yeah.
Like I said, take a little pressure off of Walker, and Zach's got some hands.
They went.
So
and then
he's gonna help him with that, man.
Yeah, and then they got some defensive line help in Cameron Young and Mike Morris. Scott, before you give us the Seahawks, will or won't they division? Give us our betting angles and our fantasy for the 49ers.
So the fantasy for the 49ers is Brandon Ayuk. Can he step up and be that number 1 receiver that Kyle Shanahan envisioned him to be when he drafted him, and that the 49ers really need, because Debo is that gadget guy on offense. He's that end around guy. He's that throw the screen pass and let him go 60 yards for a touchdown. So Brandon Ayuk, if he steps up and becomes Brock Purdy's number 1 target, I think for fantasy, he's a great number 2/number 3 wide receiver. Betting angle wise, the 49ers over under 10.5 wins. If you go over, it's -105. If you go under, it's +125. So they're going to be probably 11 wins or so, 11 or 12 wins. So I see that as a close win, over under. In terms of the Seahawks, they win the division if their running back room, who they've had so many problems staying healthy, i.e. Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, if Charbonnet and Walker stay healthy, they'll be fine on offense because Geno will have the time to throw the ball, because these 2 guys, Charbonnet and Walker, can get it done running the ball. They won't win the division if the defense regresses and takes a step back. I think Pete Carroll wants to play really good defense and run the ball as much as he possibly can. Geno will throw the ball based on what the success of the running backs will be. But I think Pete Carroll's mind, he wants to run the ball effectively and set up Geno for play action pass to throw it to those 3 weapons that he has in receivers in JSN, Metcalf, and Lockett. I do have a question for Bo. JSN, will he take away more from Metcalf or Lockett, do you think?
So he'll take away from DK without a doubt. It'll be DK's touches that go down, because Lockett catches anything that's remotely close. And he is such a clean route runner that that's your outlet guy no matter what. Right. DK is a freak athlete. no doubt, but he can drop some of the easy throws. So he'll make that one-handed crazy athletic catch, and then he'll drop one that hits him right in the numbers. So if anybody's going to get some of their touches taken away, it's going to ultimately be DK, just because we haven't seen him mature as a player the way you would hope that he would. It's also why he still gets just about every other week and unsportsmanlike conduct for pushing somebody after the play's dead. One of the most frustrating drive killers that you watch almost every week. And so, I think he gets touches taken away. That being said, Charbonnet damaged his wrist in this last game, so he's not going to be available anyway. So, that's a bummer. But and then on your comment about the defense regressing, they almost can't. They were the 30th ranked defense last year.
That's the thing. I mean, they got better as the season went. The last 2 years, the defense seems to have gotten better in the back half of the season.
Yeah.
So if they start out like they finish seasons, they'll be a very dangerous team in the NFC West, and they could possibly win the division over San Francisco if their defense starts off the way it ends the last 2 years. That's what I think. So,
Sam, the Seahawks win this division if what?
I think you're muted, man.
You're muted, Sam. You're muted.
Sorry. I didn't think you guys wanted to hear screaming baby. But anyway, they win the division, just like as you guys were talking about, the 30th ranked defense. Their defense gets better, they win that division. I was going to be kind of snarky with my tired self and be like, if they sweep the Niners, they're going to win the division. But now I'm like, no, I'll just do the defense. Yeah, I think the defense got to be better, and I think they will be.
They don't win if what?
They don't win if Geno Smith turns into Geno Smith. So Jets Geno Smith. I apologize. Jets Geno Smith.
I was so trying to not say that and be nice about it because I was so happy for him, but I was saying
no. Look, I am very happy for him. He was like one of the best stories last year. It was amazing.
Yeah, man.
No one gave him a chance. I certainly didn't. I'm boy, the Seahawks.
He won most improved, right? He won most improved.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Had he won that would have made so much sense. He made comeback player of the year. What did he come back from? Not being good? Like what?
That's right.
Yeah. He came back from being the Jets.
I knew he won some award, but the comeback was.
We don't have anybody for this award. Gino, you're perfect for this. We'll give it to you. There you go.
This year though, for that comeback award, it's like what they need to do is just, day one, DeMar Hamlin, here it is. You won the award. Now we're going to also give it to somebody else because somebody, you know what I mean? Like,
he put pads on. He gets that award.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like he's in the roster. We watched this guy die on Monday Night Football. He's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like there's no one else in the conversation. Like if you were trying to come back, you might as well just take the year off.
Yeah. If that was your goal to be comeback player of the year, just take it. You're right, Bo. Take the year off. I think Sam laid it out. I think Seattle wins this division if that defense continues to improve. And be a good Pete Carroll defense that Legion of Doom was. They don't have to be that great, but if they're and I love that Woolen kid. Now they got a partner on his other side, the kid that they drafted out of Illinois. Man, those two for a long time could be trouble. I do worry if can they stop the run? Now you got two great corners, but you got somebody to stop the run. Jamal Adams is back, so maybe Jamal Adams just needs to play linebacker. Like, fuck playing safety and play linebacker. That's who you are.
So that is how they're going to use him. I would bet money because they are running a 3-4 defense, right? So what they're going to end up doing is on paper, they're going to play nickel every down, but it's still going to be a 3-4. Jamal Adams is essentially going to be a rover. He's going to be that free roaming linebacker / strong safety. And, which is where his skill set is. Because let's be honest, he's not a good coverage safety. So you're going to have Woolen and Witherspoon, and then as safeties, you're going to have Diggs and Love, and then they're actually converting Cobe Bryant, who was another one of our corners, to also fill in as a safety. So I mean, the secondary is actually stacked. On paper, it's going to look like they're in a nickel setup all the time because Jamal Adams is going to be on the field.
Nice.
And they don't win this division. Sam said it. If Geno goes back to Jets Geno, and not the comeback comeback player of the year. So our most improved. I mean, he doesn't have to improve from what he did last year. You're right, Bo. He played excellent. That offense looked great. I love Kenneth Walker. I loved him last year. I think the kid's an absolute fucking stud. But man, if he reverts back to, bad Geno, it's going to be a world of hurt. And they don't have the backup. Maybe they're calling Trey Lance. Who knows?
The thing that's funny is Locke actually hasn't looked
they got
horrible.
Drew Lock. Yeah.
He hasn't looked horrible. And he, weirdly, he won more games in Denver than Russ did.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a great nugget to throw out there, bro.
It is.
Nice.
Scott, give us our betting angle and our fantasy angle for the Bo Seahawks.
So fantasy angle, we've talked about Geno Smith. If he steps up just a little, he could be a back end quarterback one in fantasy. It's that with Jackson Smith and Jigba now, the forecast for him is he's going to step up a little bit and he's going to throw a little bit more and become that a QB 11 or 12 overall in fantasy. And if he's that, I'm perfectly happy going with him as my number one quarterback. The betting angle is this. There's a strange betting angle I saw. The Seahawks finish in the division. If they win the division, it's plus 195. If they finish second, it's plus 135. I don't think they're going to finish below second in this division.
I don't think so either.
At plus money, you can really put like $10, $20, $50, $100, whatever you want on it, and more than double your money. So that's one of those bets that's easy money. If you put 50 on first, 50 on second, you're gonna win it you're gonna win it back someplace. So
what do you know what the over under on their win total was?
9.5. 9.5.
And we'll save that. We'll save that because we're going to give out our records here in just a little bit, Bo. So, anyway, let's get to the Rams. This team won the Super Bowl just 2 years ago, and it seems like it's been up in flames since. Last year they went 5-12.
Yep.
And then this offseason, gone is Jalen Ramsey. Gone is Ashawn Robinson. Gone is Allen Robinson. Gone is Taylor Rapp. Gone is Nick Scott. Gone is Greg Gaines. Baker Mayfield, I guess you could say. And they brought in Josh Johnson III and Cole Shelton. And they brought in Troy Hill. Their draft class, they don't have a first round pick till 2050. So, but they brought in a Steve Avila out of TCU. Then they did bring in Stetson Bennett, and somehow Matthew Stafford's still younger than him. So there's that. You got Kobe Turner in the third round. They got Nick Hampton.
Did you write that joke down?
No, I didn't.
Liar. Lying on the show.
It's the biggest words on the page.
Yeah, he smiled. He goes, "No, I didn't."
Byron Young in the third round. Bo, the Rams somehow get their shit back together and win this division. If what?
No chance.
Hell freezes over? Like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, no chance. No chance, Scott. No chance.
Yeah, I would think that both the Seahawk and Niners team buses crash and everyone's on IR. I don't think it works out for the Rams. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people are predicting them to be. They do still have some pieces. Their defense is definitely not what it was. And I mean, their strategy was only dumb if it didn't work, right? Like they threw as much money at 1 year as you could possibly do. And then you were going to have to just blow the thing up, and they got a ring. And so no matter how it shakes out, you can't take that banner away from them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, again, it's only dumb if it doesn't work, but they are not going to be super competitive. They will. Honestly, the only thing in the offseason that I actually liked that they did was picking up Stetson Bennett made a ton of sense because he had a lot of games in college, high pressure games, right? He wins a couple of championships and he plays exactly like Stafford does. So if Stafford gets hurt or isn't able to go, his offensive line doesn't have to learn a new way to play. He doesn't have some crazy athletic guy that now they have to adjust how they block. They got Stafford Jr. stepping right in. So that is actually probably the only thing in the offseason that I actually thought they did smart. The rest of it is they have zero cap space and zero players, which does not generally equate
and zero draft picks.
And zero draft picks. Yeah, like they're going to be bad this year. They're going to be bad next year. Like they sold the farm to get a ring, and good on them. But now they got to deal with what that costs.
Hey, Nick, you need these next two teams, the Rams and the Cardinals. You need to change the questions. And how in the hell do they win the division? And
I thought we were gonna skip both these teams. To be quite honest, I just figured all right, they're not gonna win. So you know what I'm saying,
but Nick wrote down more clever jokes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can hear the clever jokes about both teams.
Hey, Sam, I don't write down jokes, baby. It's all off the top of the dome.
Oh, that explains.
But yeah,
it.
you got to agree with Bo. The Rams sold out for 2 years ago and won their Super Bowl, and now they're reaping the.
Hey, Scott! What they did is they emptied the bank account for that hot hooker to brag about for the one time, and now they sold the house, and now they living in a trailer park. You know what I mean? So they gambled completely. They put all the chips they had into that one season, and they won it. And now they're bereft of talent. I mean, look at their receiving core this year. After Cooper Kupp, there's nothing there. Nothing.
My team has a better receiving core than them. That's saying something.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
and they still got the greatest, to me, one of the best defensive linemen of all time in Aaron Donald. Let's not forget that. But
I agree with that. And McVay holds him up every year. Like, is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? This may be McVay's last year. Seriously, if they go like 4-13,
he was contemplating it already.
Yeah. He may just say, I'm out. That's it. We won our Super Bowl championship. I'm going to go do TV for a year, and then I'll coach someplace else after. So that's what I think with the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, we'll go with you here. They win, or, how the hell they win this division, or they don't win this division if what?
They win this division if by somehow those free agents and Matthew Stafford pretty much Rain Man's the gridiron, right? He's just circling Kmart sucks, and he throws the ball and he gets touchdowns. That's how they win it. If they have some players that we don't know about that are ready to step up and make that leap. It's not going to happen. A question for the group, though. Do you guys really I think the obvious answer, but there was a pretty good debate on this, I think, on the Ringer, because they talked about the Rams basically going into their 5 years of darkness after their Super Bowl. And everybody in their right mind will say it's worth it. But there are Rams fans that say, 5 years, though, that's a long
bro. In the words of Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. You play so that you play to win the Super Bowl. The only thing that matters is the Super Bowl. So I think especially when they did it, they won it in their stadium.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they built that stadium, won it in their stadium. Like, you can't take that away. They 1,001%. They sold it out and they got it done. Now, if they didn't get it done and they were in this situation, then everybody would be fired, right? Their GM's fired, everybody's fired. But
and they're the Saints.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Saints did. They shoved all their money in and then didn't get there. But
I also know plenty of Saints fans that are like, I hate Sean Payton now because he pretty much just left him high and dry and was like, see ya.
Exactly.
No, and the Rams did exactly that, right? You play to win the game. And unfortunately, after you do that, the next year you're Mora. Playoffs?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to win a game. No, I hear you. I just thought it was interesting that the long wait, how long is that wait reasonable? You know what I mean? For Sean McVay, for everybody.
I mean, the way I see it, I've been waiting 30-something years for my team to even make it to a Super Bowl. So if we win it, I don't give two shits how long we stuck afterwards, bro. Because
Johnny, I got
to see one.
I will say this, Johnny. You are the only Miami Dolphins fans I know that hasn't talked about the perfect season. Everyone I talked to,
I wasn't even a twinkle in my dad's eye in '72, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, come on.
Hey, Neil Diamond said, they come from all over. They come to America.
I'm glad that the franchise I root for went undefeated, and they got a couple of trophies there because they have two more than Buffalo has. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's why I will always have a special place in my heart for Eli and the Giants for stopping Scott's Patriots from breaking that record. But I'm not going to bang the table every time we had an undefeated. Yeah, they had an undefeated season before I was born. But since I've been a fan, there's been one AFC title game, and we got spanked. So
that's like me talking about.
I'll take a Super Bowl and then 5 years of darkness afterwards.
That's like me talking about Super Bowl 1 and 2 in the Lombardi years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my daddy wasn't even squirming around in his daddy's nuts when that was going on. So, you know what I mean? So,
listen, it's been 6 years for me up here. We're dying for a championship again.
Nick, he ain't got no business talking about this.
Nick, with your Cubs.
Here's the.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You're good, right? You're good for a minute if they're not great. You got that ring.
Yeah, we got 16. That's all I asked for. Yep.
Right.
And
I mean, so I guess this is where I struggle with it because I mean, yes, you want the ring, obviously, but then to be obscure for the next 5+ years.
That was the discussion.
That's tough to stomach, right? Because it's like, okay, yeah, you got the win, but if you are just god awful after that, right? Like you're the Texans. That's not, or like the 90s Jets, right? Like you couldn't buy a game. Like you weren't trying to win a ring. You were just trying to be above 500.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, as a Hawks fan, right? I am an 80s kid. And so I remember when like we were bad, like 92, we went 2-14. Like this is not a Seahawks, as far as the team. So yeah, like you want to be able to say, yeah, let's go in and get a ring. But the easiest way to get a ring is if you're in the mix every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Agreed. You can throw all the money at it and really make a push. But if you are in the playoffs every year, just getting in the mix, I mean, you got to win 4 games. And Eli shows that you can be mediocre and go win 4 games, get a ring.
Yeah, true that.
Can you tell the guard to shut the cell lock there?
It's right where the sun is setting. There's a gap in the curtain, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Password.
Hey, Bo, we all got to go through things. I got to deal with shitty internet. We got to deal with Scott's fucking crickets. We got to deal with your sun shining in your ass and Sam's kid. You know what I mean? So,
as a Dolphin fan, the last 20 years, Bo, like they've been hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? Or they've been mediocre.
Meddling to hot garbage.
The epiphany of 8-8, 7-9. 9-7, you know what I'm saying? That's all they've been since Dan retired.
I mean,
so it's tough. I mean, we were one Greg Camarillo slant away from a winless season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We won one game, 1-15, and we happened to beat Baltimore in that one play. Or, Cam Cameron would have, done the opposite of Don Shula. So I've seen the horrible years.
I think you guys could have done something if you would have let Fitzmagic finish that season out.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I thought Tua should have redshirted.
The abyss.
I thought Tua should have redshirted, let Fitzpatrick go, and see what happens.
Love Fitzy.
And
he was killing it.
Here's the ultimate question, and I'll ask all of you: is the worst place in the NFL to be in the middle?
Yes.
Or is it worse to be near the top or near the bottom?
8-8. If you're horrible. 8-8, that 7-8, 8-8 is the worst. If you're 500, because it all depends though. If you're 500 for 2 years, that's the worst. Because you could have been bottom the year before and you move up to 8-8. Let's just say the Rams now. Like the Rams were shitty last year and they moved 8-8. You're like, hey, we improved. We got some pieces, right? But if you're 8-8 and you just continue to be 8-8, if you're Jeff fucking Fisher, you're a problem because
No.
because you're not improving and you're not decreasing. You're not building. You're not bad enough to build pieces in the draft to move up, right? To get to build, but you're also not good enough to be in contention. You're just man. You're Jeff fucking Fisher.
Yeah.
First of all, you keep
Exactly.
the
Well
awesome
said.
coach name out of your mouth. All right, slap it. I disagree. I would rather be middling than bad. That's
because you're a Titans fan, and that's all you guys have ever been outside of 2 years.
Are you saying that? First of all, fuck you. Two, the thing is, nobody wants to be bad. Anybody that says they want to be bad, you can't legitimate sell me that it's fine to be bad.
I believe in rebuilding. Yes,
Right.
I believe in sometimes you got to tear the shit down and build it back up, and that's what the Rams are currently doing.
Here's the way I believe it's good to be in the middle. If you've been 3-13, 3-14,
that's what I mean. And you build, yes, I'm okay with that.
Building up, yes,
I'm okay with that. But if you got 3 years where you're 8-8 and 8-8, then you're just fucking there, and you're not building. You're not improving. Yes.
Now you just said 3 years of that. Now try 20 plus years of that, and you have 2 years where you're good to make the playoffs, and then you have 2 years where you get the top pick, and your general manager picks
you just made the list.
An offensive tackle and Ronnie Brown. The 2 times that you got the first and second pick, you pick a running back and a left tackle when there's quarterbacks on the board. You know what I'm saying? And then the 2 times you got
Jake Long, right? Jake Long.
Yeah, Jake Long.
Yep.
And then
he wasn't bad. He wasn't a bust.
Yeah, but we had to have Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
You know
Hey, Alan, that's a hell of a lot closer than Dak Prescott will ever be. I'll tell you that much.
Do you see the Seahawks for the foreseeable future now being that 9-8, 10-7 range for the next few years, or do you see them going up a little bit past that?
Yeah, so the real question will come down to is what we saw from Geno last year in Aberration, or is he that dude?
Right.
If he's that dude, then yeah, they can continue moving forward because the rest of that team is young.
It's gonna get better.
A bunch of it is rookies last year, a bunch of rookies this year. Most of our offensive line, right? The 2 tackles, this will be their second year. Our interior of the offensive line is a rookie season. So I mean, they're putting pieces together that you can realistically build on, and they're not even really paying Geno, right? Like he's a discount when you compare starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then if he turns out that it was a 1 year, glory story, then there's a out in every single year of his contract.
Yeah.
So they could terminate it at the end of this year and go on to, whatever they're going to think they're going to do. But
last question. When for the Seahawks, when do you think they start looking at Geno's replacement? Do you think it's next year, the year after? When do you think it is? Because Drew Lock's not that guy, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Drew Lock is definitely not that guy.
Yeah. Like he can actually win some games, but yeah, I don't think he's that dude. So
he is not him. Okay.
Exactly. So this is where it gets kind of interesting because I think it's actually bigger than Geno because his contract correlates with the end of John Schneider. It correlates with the end of Pete Carroll.
Okay.
And so now if you're starting to look at different coaching, different GM, it frees them up to bring in their own quarterback because if anything from the Broncos means anything, they got a new ownership group and they got handed a dumpster fire. And since Jody Allen has alluded to the fact that they are going to sell the team, I thought they were going to wait probably till like maybe 2027, something like that. But after the precedent that the Broncos set, where now they're paying for Hackett to not be there, and they've paid a ton of money to us.
Look at the Commanders, right? Like that's even more of a dumpster fire.
For sure. And
they just sold for more than any team that's ever sold. Like if the Seahawks, if the Allens are going to sell the Seahawks, I'm signing up. Hey, whoever today this team's for sale because I'm about to be a billion. Like you're already a billionaire, but now you're just I mean, you're talking about your 3 great you know what I mean?
Yep.
Great grandkids are going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but so if they were watching, like if that ownership group is watching what has happened around the league, and they were able to sell it as, hey, not only do you get to buy this franchise, but you get to bring in all of your coaching staff and quarterback from the jump. You don't have to come in and then realize that you're going to be writing checks to people you don't want on your team. So right. I think it may have moved up when when Jody Allen is planning to sell the team. And then, I don't know if they're renewing Pete or if he's even trying to come back, right? He's already 72. So,
right.
I mean, he's a super active 72. I'll give him that. But, all of a sudden, John Schneider had kicked the tires on going somewhere else before he signed this last contract. So there's some elements of this team that are going to fall apart, which I think is why they went so active in free agency that Seattle never does. Like if you're a Seahawk fan and you go into free agency, you're like, cool, I'll have to pay attention because we're not going to do anything. And we're just going to hope in the draft. Right.
Yeah.
And this year they were super active in free agency and drafted well. So from what it looks like on my end is they are kind of going all in without doing the Rams type of thing to try and secure one more ring before Pete and John get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to skip the rest of the Ram shit, and then we'll get to the Carolina or Arizona here. But, Scott, give us our gambling and fantasy picks for the Rams.
So, for the Rams, it's Cam Akers. I mean, everybody knows about Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers was sent home for 2 or 3 weeks or left the team for 2 or 3 weeks and then came back and had a really nice end of the season. So, does he build on that, or does he regress back to the Cam Akers that we saw at the first half of the year? So, to me, I think he stays in somewhere in between of that, and that'll stabilize their offense just enough, maybe in games to win or lose. The betting angle for the Rams is very simple. If they finish third place, which we have them all year marked to finish, it's plus 125 in the division. You get again double money for picking the Rams to finish third place, which is probably where they're going to finish this year.
Wow.
So
that's actually
it's on DraftKings. I would jump on that now before it goes to minus money. So if you put $50 on it, you're going to win more than double your money, and it's 125. So you're going to win probably like $110, $115 for a third place Rams finish.
Wow. Yeah, let's get to the last team here. That's the Cardinals, and I mean, pretty much my question to you, and we'll just kind of go around here because I think we all got this team finishing dead last. Anyway, and maybe being the worst. My question is, what the fuck are they doing? Today they traded Isaiah Thomas, a guy they drafted 7th overall just a few years ago, who's absolutely Isaiah basketball, but Isaiah Simmons, absolute stud linebacker / safety, can do it all. They drafted him 7th overall and sent him to the Giants for peanuts. D-Hop tweeted out, Giants just got a steal. Then after that, they traded an offensive lineman, and then they traded for Josh Dobbs, who is going to be maybe their starting quarterback. Bo, I mean, we all know they're not going to win this division. It would take an act of God for them to win this division. But my 2 questions is, what the fuck are they doing? And is Kyler Murray gone then?
I mean, you almost have to think so, right? Because everything they're doing at this point looks like they're going after a quarterback.
Got the right. I mean, Caleb Williams and May are going to be there 1 and 2, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, unless they are looking to really cash in on selling that first overall pick, but they seem like they're unhappy with what Kyler has been and what he's becoming. So yeah, but the things that they're getting rid of at this point don't even make sense. I mean, going into it, a lot of people were thinking they were going to be something in the 3 or 4 win range. And I was thinking because of the pieces they still had, and Colt McCoy, let's be honest, is a great backup. He can win you some games. I was thinking they were going to be like a 5-win team. But after this last week, I mean, 3 wins might be a stretch. I mean,
Bo, if they start Josh Dobbs over Colt McCoy, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, they're trying to lose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean they will be borderline unwatchable at that point because at that point you're not even trying to win, and your players know you're not trying to win.
You may not see them on the red zone channel at all unless it's just their defense.
Well,
you guys remember the coaching? You guys remember the coaching search? Remember that? They had to they just kept going through people. Eventually landed on poor Gannon.
Here's the deal. Why would you trade to get a quarterback so late in preseason if your plan is not to start him? They're going to start Josh Dobbs. Right. They're not happy with McCoy or Clayton Tune. He's going to start at week 1 or week 2. And if that's the case, I agree with Bo. There'll be a stretch to win 3 games this year. They may even be stretched to win 2, never mind 3. So
why did that post 5 times?
Hey, we like all the comments, Bo.
That's a little early, Alan. It's okay. It happens to everybody.
Sam, what's your thoughts here on the Cardinals?
The Cardinals are they're in bad shape. They win the division if Colt McCoy is finally like, you know what? F this.
I'm about to say, are we even doing that with this
well,
team?
doing that.
We're not even going to touch it.
I was just trying to get you guys.
I mean, just your thoughts on the team because they're not winning this shit, bro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. Their new GM is Monty Austinfort, who I've met. He was the Titans personnel guy. I like him a whole lot. I was happy for him. I feel bad because, for the love of God, that he's just been saddled with absolute crap. He's been saddled with a quarterback that rather play video games than practice. He's saddled with an owner who has taken said quarterback's side against his coach and longtime GM, who had to have a medical emergency to get out of the job. So I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Monty's a great guy. But yeah, I think your only tactic right now is to tank and try to get you the best quarterback you can. But unfortunately, you're going to be on the hook for the next 4 years with Kyler Murray's contract hanging over, fully guaranteed, all that money.
And no one's picking that up.
Yeah, no one's picking that up.
Johnny, what do they do with Kyler if they tank as we all are thinking? What the hell you do with Kyler?
I honestly have no idea. And you're saying Scott and I talked about this on the Scott Cobe show a little bit. Definitely check that out. I don't know, bro, because I don't think anybody's going to want to touch him because it's not just the contract.
So
it's the fact that you don't know if he's going to be committed to playing.
We said it on our show early with Alan, Johnny. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. We think Jerry Jones might take a shot at him.
We've actually
he mentioned he would be the one.
We've seen this exact scenario with Carson Wentz, and the Eagles said, "You know what? We're going to give you the $44 million if you just go fuck yourself."
But we don't drop F-bombs on this show at all.
Oh, my bad.
Cover your ears.
You're fitting right in, Bo. You're fitting right in, Bo.
We see Kyler at all this
year. Got some FCC stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
Do we see Kyler at all this year, or did the Cardinals just
say
Kyler?
He's got
See you later.
ACL? No.
We may never see him in an Arizona uniform again.
We may not see him in the NFL again. Don't forget, he got drafted top 10 in baseball. Wait, he got drafted top 10 in baseball.
He's not going to go play baseball.
I'm just saying, why not pivot? You've already made some good money.
He's going to go to the
Dallas Cowboys.
If
the Dallas Cowboys lose in the wild card or divisional round, I would not be surprised if Jerry Jones calls the Cardinals and say, "What was it going to take to get Kyler off your hands?"
We're relevant. Come on, boy. Come on.
Video games you want. I like Allen, but I hope that happens just so that Cowboy fans are miserable for the next few years. Kyler Murray there.
Are they already miserable? I'm sorry.
Bo's right, though. Bo's right. There will be a team that takes him like Carl. That team took Carl Wentz. You know what I mean? And
well, if they pay a bunch of the salary, you know what I'm saying? If they pay,
they're going to have to. They're going to have to. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Well, let's get into our picks. Bo, our the team that finishes fourth in this division, I believe, is the team we just talked about. But give me the team and the record.
So I'm going to go. Obviously, the Cards are last, and shocker, right?
Hot take.
I think they accidentally still win 3 games.
Johnny, we'll go with you. The team that finishes fourth in this division.
Bro, I had them at 3 or 4 wins before this week. So I got them at 2-15.
Okay.
Sam?
Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah.
4 wins.
Scott, before you give your pick, give our betting angle and our fantasy angle, if there is any, for Arizona. Is there plus money on them to go 0-17?
No, I don't know. I'll have to check that out.
Go through papers. He's like,
So my fantasy angle for the Cardinals is Trey McBride. Is Zach Ertz going to stay in his way for him not to start growing in the NFL and becoming a really good tight end? That's my fantasy angle. My betting angle is the over-under on the Arizona Cardinals is 4.5 wins. The over is plus 100. The under is minus 120, which minus 120 is not bad odds. I'm taking the under. I think Arizona wins 1 game this year, 1-16.
Yeah, I somehow think that if Colt McCoy plays 4 games, that he'll win 2 of them. They got Arizona. I'm getting Arizona 2 wins. They finished. So they're 2-15. They finished dead last, the Arizona Cardinals. Bo, which team finishes 3rd here in the record?
So that'd be the Rams, and I think they are a 7-win team.
There you go. Alan's got it.
Hey, there you go. Plus 1,600. Hey, I might as well. You might put some money on the Arizona to go.
I might do that too. I might do that. Worth a shot.
He said 7-10, right? You said 7-10, Bo?
Yeah, 7 wins.
Yeah, I got the Rams in 3rd place as well. I got them just a tick better because I'm hoping that Stafford's going to be healthy and actually play. And I'd hate to see Aaron Donald have to deal with a 3 or 4 win team again. So I think they win 7-8 games. I'll give them 8 and 9 just to be nice.
Sam?
Oh,
Sam is not going to be nice.
No,
Right?
I'm not going to be nice.
Negative wins.
Yeah. So hot take time. The 3rd place team is going to be the 49ers with 7 wins. Brock Purdy is not Shanahan cannot recover. The wide receivers don't make it. Debo is like, screw this, I want to trade. It's going to go downhill, and it starts this year.
They all get lost at the London game or something?
Yeah. he misses his flight. Yeah. No, I just looking at things, it just looks like this they're on a knife's point. I feel like it's gonna
Sam, you and Farley been hanging out at his meth house together?
Look, man, they're not giving Trey his chance. I just feel that if they had, I would have put them in. You know what I'm saying?
Sam, I know you ain't got much sleep with the baby and all, but Jesus.
Huh?
Seriously, though.
What'd you say, Mr. Unicorn?
Isn't there a part of everybody that feels like it can completely blow the hell up?
Yes.
Like I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
I think it will.
But
I think they got too much talent.
There's like a little part of me that's like,
there's so much talent around the quarterback position.
Yeah, I agree with
They've
Scott.
insulated the quarterback position. I think the worst the 49ers could do in this division is 2nd place.
Yeah.
Scott, who is your 3rd place team?
Rams 5-12.
Yeah, I want to back up. Tanner's not here, but he picked Arizona at 5-12. The 4th place team's got Rams. His 3rd place team at 7-10. I'm actually in lockstep with the buffoon here. I got the Rams at 7-10 as my 3rd place team. Bo, who you got as your 2nd place team?
So I got the 2nd place team as the Seahawks at.
Wait, Bo, hold on. We got to give you a round of applause. You're our first guest, our 2nd guest only outside of Bobby G that didn't pick his own team that he covers to win the division. So give him a round of applause, everybody.
You son of a bitch.
Way to be real.
Yes.
Bro. Appreciate
You
that.
clever boy.
So yeah, no, I think they're a 10-win team. I think that's what they are. They're 1 game ahead of where they were last year because their schedule is harder. They'll be a better team, but the competition will be better.
I get that. All right, Johnny.
I'm right with him at 10 wins. I mean, they could possibly win 11, but I got the Seahawks in 2nd place. I got them at 10-7.
Sam, who you got here at 2nd?
Gotta be the
Rams
Rams.
at 8 have 8 wins. Just barely getting past the 49ers when they fall off the cliff.
Okay.
Now, if
Bro,
Trey
you
Lance
should
starts, I'm
you
gonna
should
revoke that
so
whole thing.
you should so throw a few dollars on that, Sam.
Yeah.
The under on San Francisco.
Right?
I mean, if I'm just saying, not a lot of money, just throw a little something on it.
I know
Because then you get
little.
both joys that it actually happened, and you got a little bit of cash too.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I know jack shit about betting. I know nothing about it.
You just press the button that has the under.
Oh, is that all it is? Okay.
You put your dollar amount
in front of the money, you get
open
extra money.
space.
Look,
And
I'm
then
just
you
saying.
press
I'm just
submit.
saying. I'm looking at the 49ers, and
This is. I'm gonna tell you how to gamble, Sam. You go to your bank account, you look how much it is, and then you go to FanDuel.com. It's legal in Tennessee, I believe. So you go to FanDuel, download the app. You take whatever's in your bank account. You put all that money into your into all of it, and just you bet on all one bet, and hopefully it's plus money.
As soon as I do it, my wife runs out here like, "What are you doing? My phone's going off. You're doing something."
That's what you do, Sam.
We have a child.
Go into your child's savings, your child savings that you have, and bet it all. Bet all the scholarships on.
You got
Nick
it.
Bodkins is
All
bad
10
influence
bucks.
on Sam.
All $10 of it.
Oh yeah.
And then Sam, before I give you my second place team, then Sam says to his wife, "Hey, Nick Bodkins told me to put it all on the 49ers under." So
What if it happened? I'd be like, "Whoa."
Then you could take us all out to a steak dinner, Sam.
Yeah, little steak. Come on down to Tennessee. Yeah.
Scott, who's your second place team?
I got the 49ers at 10-7.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Hey, hey, Tanner has the Niners at 10-7 as well. I got the Seahawks at 10-7 in second place.
So everybody's going 10-7, but just some people have Seattle, some people have San Fran. Oh, I cannot wait for this season to start, bro.
Oh, who's your first place team?
Well, it's the Niners, and it'll be a 11-6. I think is how that'll work.
Johnny?
Yeah, I got them at 12-5, man. They're a machine, bro. I mean, like Sam could play quarterback, and they would win 10 games.
Yeah, but they tried CJ Beathard a few years ago. It didn't work out so well. So
but they're better now than they were a few years ago, and I think Sam is better than Sam Beathard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you meant this?
I got them at 12-5, man. Like I said, I still have that. Like I could so see them just harpoon down and just completely fall flat. But no, I think the defense is just too good. I mean, it's just the whole team is just too good. The roster's too good. So I got them at 12-5 winning the division.
If it does, I'm going to be the most annoying person on the show. Like, yeah, who's right? Look at me. Everyone, look at what I did.
You already are the most annoying person on the show, so you don't even have to do anything.
The amp's going to go to 11. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to go up.
Just every time.
Very nice.
Sam, your first place team is who?
My first place team is the Seattle Seahawks. Like everybody else, 10-7.
Yep.
Scott, your first place team?
Seattle at 11-6.
Nice.
Tanner's got the Seahawks tied with the 49ers at 10-7, but he's got Seahawks winning that tiebreaker. But I got the 49ers at 11-6, winning this division. We're hammering it home, baby. So before you get out of here, get those plugs in. Where can everybody catch your shit out? And we appreciate you jumping on with us.
Look at him, guys. He's getting serious faced. He's about to talk about it. Look at him. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I knew it. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. So no, you can find me on Twitter at Football Talk. Damn it. Shit, where do you find me?
Take two.
And then on YouTube at Football-Talk or right here on Let's Talk Sports.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, we appreciate you joining us and having a few laughs with us, brother. We'll catch you during the season. We'll holler at you, brother. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
Bo.
Give it up, everybody, for Football Talk with Bo, baby.
And what we forgot to tell Bo was the next time he comes on, we'll be better organized for him.
Well, I mean, he ended his part of it the same way we started. He couldn't even remember where he was at.
We rubbed off on him. That's
we had him cursing in the whole shit by the end of it, bro.
Yeah, he has to say it 5 times.
Yeah. Sorry, Bo. You know, we're bad influences around here. Boys, before we get out of here, I want to talk a few baseball topics, and we'll just do kind of a little round robin here. First of all, Johnny, I was going to ask you the White Sox, and I wondered if you wanted the Yankees to do this. The White Sox fired their GM and president, Kenny Williams, and their GM, Khan, I think it was. What's your guys' thoughts on the White Sox finally realizing, hey, we need to clean house?
About time.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's like 3 years too late. I mean, once they hired Tony La Russa and told him to stop rooming with Scott and Keith and to come manage the team, it was like, what are y'all doing? So yeah, they could have done this a few years ago, and maybe Tim Anderson wouldn't have gotten knocked the fuck out.
Scott, you got any thoughts here on the White Sox getting rid of their president and GM?
No, Johnny said it best. I can't remember.
More important news.
No, here's the deal. We talked about it on the baseball show the other day before it happened. These guys have underachieved so much. They had an interview with Eloy Jimenez last night, and he was just like, they asked him questions about it, and he was like, not really. Yeah. And then they blasted him in the post-game show. So
I saw that.
None of these players care about what happens on the field, it seems like.
Right.
So
and they got so much talent, bro.
They do.
Yeah,
There's so much talent on that team.
You
bro.
get your most talented player not running out ground balls to first base. You got Eloy Jimenez, who's hurt more times than healthy, and he doesn't really care about what happens. You can't win as an organization. You just can't if your players don't care. So to me, and then they got rid of Jose Abreu before the season started to Houston. So you know what? The White Sox are getting what they deserve this year, and that's a fourth place finish.
They think Kenny Williams has been there 20 years, though. I mean, he's been there a long time.
Forever.
He's been forever. So that's kind of surprising they did get rid of him, but heads are going to roll. They're even Sam. I mean, this is how bad it is in the South Side. They're talking about moving to Nashville. They're talking about the owners talking about selling the team. I mean, Jerry Reinsdorf is thinking about moving the White Sox out of the South Side, or even selling the team. So those are possibilities as
Gladly take them. I'd love to have an MLB stadium here with a team I could root for and take kids to the games and everything. Yeah, I'll take them. Sure. And with a roster that, can be talented. I'm just sad it's not the Tampa Bay Rays that seem to always be doing good, but nobody shows up for them. We'll show up for you.
The sad thing, bro, if Tampa went to Nashville, oh my God, bro, that would be insane.
I'd be like,
bro.
this is going to be great. That stadium,
that would be insane because they would be packed. They would be packed all the time, bro.
And then today, this morning, Shohei Ohtani torn to UCLA. He's done pitching.
So sad.
Johnny, I'm gonna ask you. We'll start with you. Should this kid never pitch again? Like, should he just pick outfield? This is his second surgery he's about to have. Should he just play outfield and DH and just say, hey, you know what, kid, you pitched great, but we got to save your body for more important things. And I think the Angels are 10 out now. They should just shut him down for the year.
Well, they're not, because he wants to play. So they have to do whatever he wants in the hopes that they'll be able to re-sign him. If I was advising him, I'm with you. I would tell him, bro, you've already accomplished the unaccomplishable. You know what I'm saying? You did it for a few years. You were dominant. You're going to win an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're good. You proved to everybody that you were able to do it. Now go ahead and be one of the best hitters ever. You know what I'm saying? And I think he could do that. I don't think he'll want to do that, though, because I think he's going to want to keep showing that he could do both. I just hope he can actually come back from this injury. But if I was advising him, I would tell him, bro, just go ahead and hit 40-something, 50 home runs a year and just be a dominant, hitter. But I think he's determined to just keep on trying, bro. So we'll see.
Scott, did they screw this up by not trading him when they should before the deadline?
Well, they were still, if you remember, they were still had a heartbeat in the wild card race. So they figured we'll get Lucas Giolito, we'll get a relief pitcher, and we'll be able to get into the wild card. But they forgot Mike Trout was out on the IL, and this Shohei always has something at some point, injury wise. Sure enough, the Angels, what they're basically doing is saying to him, what do you want to do? Because they think they can re-sign him. I don't think they can. I agree. We talked about it on our show before too. They're not going to be able to re-sign him. He's going to want all this money. He's going to want to pitch still. He shouldn't pitch. I don't think he should throw another pitch in Major League Baseball. I think he should just rely on his hitting.
That'll hurt his market though, right? Because we've talked with Jonathan.
No, but we talked about this before. I mean, he brings in so much revenue just because of his name and his following.
But we talked. What I was saying, Johnny, though, is we talked with Jonathan, right? He's the best, one of the best pitchers, best hitters, and that's like 600 million. But Sam, like,
all right, so he gets 500.
Do you think, like, if he doesn't pitch, like, what do you think that decreases his money to, Sam?
Oh, gee whiz,
450,
maybe, right? I mean, what Judge get?
375,
370.
He's younger than Judge, I think, right? So
this is his second. Probably Tommy John surgery.
I know math good.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even know how to bet with money. What do you think I know?
The question is this: after he has his Tommy John surgery, is he going to be better? Is his arm going to be fine? My answer is no. You've had 2 Tommy John surgeries on your pitching arm. Forget the pitching. That's over. That should be over. You can hit the ball.
Sam, what do you think if he just goes to be a reliever or a closer? I think that could work instead. Maybe you're not working that much arm.
I was leaning when I read into it. I fully believe that he needs to be like a reliever. That's just how I lean into it.
That sounds kind of badass. Being the closer.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
How badass would this be? He jacks one out of the fucking park and hits a game winning like
the Boston came out of you right there. He hits
the game leading home run, right? Hits the game leading home run, and then they bring him in as the fucking closer,
right?
And he gets 1, 2, 3. Like, right. I mean, that's to me, that's even cooler than being the pitcher who pitched 7 innings and he goes 3 for 4 or whatever at the plate.
But here's the thing: he's a closer. Bottom of the 8th inning, game's tied. He's up at the plate with 2 outs. He doesn't warm up at all.
That could be the problem too. Yeah,
that's a problem.
Look at you throwing logic into a nice, you know what I'm saying?
But Scott, it's the same thing. I mean, if he warms up his arm,
I would love to see it, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think he's going to be a starting wherever he goes. The contract is going to have to say he wants he's a starting pitcher and a hitter. It's what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Do you think this scares teams away then?
Scare some of them away, yeah.
Well, scare some of them away.
Not the ones that have the money to get him. You know what I'm saying? They're still gonna go for him, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, all the extra revenue that he brings in, bro, they're gonna take a shot at him anyway. I just hope I don't know. Like I said, I hope he just chose to just hit, but I hope if he does pitch, don't have a 3rd surgery, man, because that could affect his hitting if his elbow is that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Two quick football notes here real quick. Jerry Jeudy looks like he's going to be out several weeks. Scott, we were talking about this with Ryan and Matt on the fantasy show I was earlier today. Please check that out if you get an opportunity. But I said I'm fading him. I may not even draft Jerry Jeudy. What's your thoughts on Jeudy? And if you already had a draft and you drafted him, I believe you're probably fucked.
Yep, you can't.
I was about to say I'm gonna check to see who drafted him in our.
Yeah, somebody did.
Somebody just did.
The trade I made with Tanner. Tanner drafted him right away in our league. So no, you can't draft him. You have to fade him. The guy I've been on since day one since Peyton got there, Cortland Sutton. If you remember Sean Payton's offense, the X receiver in that offense was the guy that got a lot of targets. It was Michael Thomas. Cortland Sutton plays the Michael Thomas role in the Denver offense, or used to. I think Cortland Sutton's going to be the receiver to own in Denver, even when Jeudy is healthy and back on the field. So,
see, I didn't know about the injury at the time, and Matt Larison, shout out to Matt, wound up taking Cortland Sutton.
Yep,
a couple picks right after Tanner took Jerry Jeudy.
Hey, hamstrings, man, they are an injury. Like they'll come back on the field, but it'll be with them the entire season.
I agree, Sam. You can't. It's one of those injuries that he could be here 2 weeks, and then he just does something like gets out of the bathtub or something and
Right.
hurts it
Let me
again.
tell you people something in fantasy. Do not draft Russell Wilson. If he doesn't have Jerry Judy, done.
I think Russell's.
I would be scared to draft
Everybody
him
else.
anyway, unless it was like the 14th or 15th. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, I think with Sean Payton,
maybe a waiver wire.
Yeah,
You
he's
think-
going to
you
be
think
bounce
people-
back year. Everybody thought with Sean Payton, he has a bounce back year. Without Jerry Judy on the field, that's one of your weapons you're losing. No chance.
We still don't know if Javante's going to be 100%.
No,
Like that,
no
like
chance.
Denver.
I know.
Denver might
Denver's
want to
third
be
in
an
that
ass
division.
again, bro.
Denver's
Yeah.
finishing third in that division by far.
That's crazy, bro.
So not even
Yeah.
close.
All right, before we start saying our goodbyes, I need to give us a read real quick.
Hold on. One last football note here for you, Johnny.
ahead.
The Colts turned down the Jonathan Taylor trade. The Dolphins reached out to the Colts, one of the few teams that did. That was Bleacher Report had just reported earlier today. I was looking at it. But Dolphins were in on them. The Colts said negative. I believe the Bears and there was another team there that reached out to try to trade for JT, but the Dolphins didn't meet the Colts' demands.
I mean, I think they want a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the
Like,
Broncos were that other team. I just found it here.
right.
This is how stupid it is. Jim Irsay said to Jonathan Taylor, "Go out and seek a trade." He's never going to trade him.
Right, but he finds a trade and then he doesn't trade him.
He's never going to trade Jonathan Taylor. He's going to make him suffer in Indianapolis. He's going to make him play out this year, and he's going to be miserable the whole year. Jonathan Taylor is not going to do much of anything in Indy this year because Jim Irsay will not trade this guy because he's already said he's so miserable.
Now, and then, didn't I mentioned to you guys when he first came out with those comments about Jonathan Taylor, I was like, yo, like people are not going to want to play for him. If he does that to him,
No, we're all gonna
and
die.
basically makes him suffer for a whole year and be miserable, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a Jim Irsay fan at all, bro.
They put a Tuesday deadline on this trade.
Yeah,
You've already
especially
turned down one trade from Miami and Denver. So you've turned down two trades. Do we really think Jonathan Taylor's getting traded?
They didn't. No, they haven't turned the Denver or the Bears trading. I guess the Dolphins are continuing to try to engage in talks.
Okay.
Is what the
Do we
report
actually
read,
think
the
this is
Bleacher
going to
Report.
happen before Tuesday?
No, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Johnny, you would love to have JT on your team, though, right?
Fuck yeah. Hell yes. Hell yeah, bro. I said it on my show. Check it out. Let's talk Miami Dolphins this past Tuesday, 8 p.m. My boy Alex. Yes, I think I wanted Dalvin Cook because I thought if you're going to go all in, you get the best players you can. He's better than Dalvin Cook. He's 5 years younger than him.
Yep.
And he ran the outside zone in Wisconsin. He is the perfect one-cut running back because he's big and he's fast as hell and he's got the great vision. I think you put him in Miami's backfield, and I think we have a very, very good chance of winning a chip this year. But
Nick,
Jim Irsay is going to cock block the AFC. I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up sending him to the NFC on purpose.
Nick, this is how thin line the Dolphins' backfield is. If most of it gets hurt, Salvin Ahmed is gonna be the backup running back.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't think anybody in Miami wants that.
Is Akchain?
No.
Is he? What's wrong with him?
He's got a shoulder.
Is he
Shoulder
out? I just still
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
Well, he's week to week, but they're not going to want to mess. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do nothing. Jeff Wilson has already had a hand issue or whatever, but Raheem Mostert is 2 years away from the surgery he had.
Yeah.
And he had almost 900 something yards last year. So I like Raheem Mostert.
I always like,
and I like Savon Ahmed. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to want to, if they can't make this trade for him, look out for Kareem Hunt or Leonard, Big Lenny to come to South Beach and hopefully not eat too much Cuban food that he can't play. But I would take Leonard Fournette, bro. I would take him. I'd be fine with that. Some more depth in the back.
You don't want Fat Lenny.
I'll take him. We need a short yardage back.
Get Kareem Hunt.
We got
Johnny.
I'll take Kareem Hunt, but we got this undrafted kid, Chris Brooks, out of BYU. He's a player, man, and he's got some size on him. He's like 225, 230. I don't know. He made
Johnny, they
make
said-
the roster, man.
The Fournette thing. They said he came up. He was up here for a tryout.
Mhm.
He was at least 40 pounds overweight. They said.
So he weighs 450, Johnny. You want
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There's no way. There's no
Call
way.
it
anyone
Fritz
can
Jr.
take-
Oh,
He's
right.
done. Fournette
Nah,
will never
he's
play
done.
another snap in the NFL. I don't think.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I think he's
I was hoping he would have eat his way out of the league, but I guess he will.
Look,
he did. Eddie
The
Lacy
big
did
one
the same
with
thing.
Fournette- The big one with
Yeah.
Fournette was when the Tampa Bay and the Titans were scrimmaging against each other. He decided to start a fight, and he swung at Jeffrey Simmons, of all people, on the field. Leonard Fournette, Jeffrey Simmons, and you could literally hear him on the field. And Jeffrey Simmons goes, "Oh hell yeah, I've been waiting for this."
Johnny, before
Yeah.
we get our goodbyes, get us through that ad read.
All right, I got to let everybody know about our friends over at
Read it.
Underdog.
Read it.
Download the Underdog app or go to underdogfantasy.com.
Underdog.
Make sure you use a promo code LTS, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. They have the best ball drafts of all sports, and of course, all your daily fantasy
Preach.
drafts. Again, it's
Justify.
the Underdog app or go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code LTS, and they will match you up to $100 on your first deposit. So definitely check them out. It helps out the
That's
network
right,
as well.
Johnny. Read that
Um,
ad, Johnny. Read that ad like I told
yeah.
you.
And we'll start with you, so you shut the hell up. Say your goodbyes.
Damn. That hurt my feelings. Okay. Tomorrow I get to go to a football game. Yay, last preseason
Nice.
game. Yeah, I get to go
Nice.
there in the sweltering heat because it's going to be 99 degrees and probably feels like 107 even at night with no wind. But hey, I'll be there, boas and all. Boas probably sticking to the back of my neck by the end of it and be pulling feathers out from odd places. But hey, football's back, baby. And this Bray Wyatt thing has really thrown me for a loop. It's so devastating. 1 year younger than me, and I see pictures of him, his wife, and his kids, and golly, and talk about somebody that really captured the ring with his intro when he came out with the lantern and everything. He knew how to work a crowd. And he was so good in that business. And I'm sad because all the reports where he was coming back and it was going to be great. And I thought it was going to be at what's coming out? Backlash? Is Backlash coming up?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. Payback. And yeah, I really thought we were going to see him again. And it's not happening. And it sucks. So just remember, folks, it can come for anybody at any time. Doesn't matter what your age is.
Yeah, that's what's going to be my final, and we can talk about it with I know Scott's a big wrestling guy, but Bray was one of those dudes that, 36 years old, had a great mind for the business. I was surprised how young he was. I thought he was older, actually. 36, a day after we already lost Terry Funk. Rest in peace to the Funk Master, Terry Funk, a hardcore legend in his own right. But Terry was 76 and had some great battles and things like that, was Mick Foley's mentor. So you're already kind of, as a wrestling community, right, we're already thinking about Terry Funk. But to see Bray go, a guy who had so much prime and so much potential, and the start-stops recently with the creative hurt him. He was battling an illness. Somebody told me today it was a heart attack, though, today. So I don't know if that was had to deal with the illness that he was battling, as far as the same thing that Brody Lee had died of as well. So a former Wyatt member, family member as well. So, I mean, his real name was Otunda, Mr. IRS, his son, and, Bo Dallas's brother as well. In WWE. So, T's and P's to Bray Wyatt. Absolute I love guys who can spit on the microphone and he buys into his character. Bray Wyatt was one of those guys.
He was.
Absolute got character. I mean, great character. And then he turned into the Fiend. It was great. Man.
It wasn't me, brother. It was Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, he will be missed. And unfortunately, he's gone too soon. At 36 is just, incredible. It's just too sad. Like, I'm 38, so like that's what hits home at me. It's like, man, that could be, so many of my friends, or that's like my age group, so like it's like, wow, man, I just watched this whole wrestling career.
In all the storylines he was in, the Randy Orton storyline, the Daniel Bryan storyline, when he came out with the Wyatt family, he had that match at his complex, so to speak. I mean, Undertaker, he was in the ring with him. It's just this guy was in so many big moments in such a short career, because it was a short career. And to find out, I found out at 7:00 when Alan, joined us and said Bray Wyatt passed away. I had no idea what his illness was. Triple H, sent out a great tweet about him. And yeah, he was coming back, and I thought the Fiend, so much imagination he had in his character. He knew he forefronted everything. He knew the Fiend would work, the Wyatt family, stuff like that. So, shout out to him and his family. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. You will be missed by the WWE and the fans.
And the sad thing is, Scott, too, is he just had another kid. He had a couple older kids, and then him and JoJo, the announcer, they just had a kid who was like a year or two. He couldn't be but a year or two old. Right. And it's just sad to see. And we lost, it's sad that Brody Lee, who we just saw, they were best friends and passed away just back in 2020 as well. So the two great minds for wrestling, passed away at such a young age, and it's sad to see.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure when he came back, he would have feuded with somebody, and he would have raised the level of that person he was feuding with to a ultimate level, because that's what he did.
Look at LA Knight. That was his last feud. Kind of helped push LA Knight, a little bit. So
we got that great gif of him going over the ropes over and over.
So
and what he did with Alexa Bliss too. That's the other thing. Alexa Bliss was in with the Fiend, and that made her career even that much better, because talked about with the doll and everything else with Alexa Bliss, it just accelerated the overall storyline of what Bray Wyatt was doing with Alexa Bliss. So
yeah,
this is a perfect example of how many times has this kind of been our final thought, where enjoy each day and enjoy it, because you don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is precious. Life is short. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy the people that you like being around. And you know what I'm saying? Surround yourself with people that make you feel good, make you happy. Don't stop stressing stuff. And again, man, it's just, you never know, man. It's 36 years old. I mean, that's wild, bro. I mean, that's so young, bro.
Speaking of that, I opened my show this way, and this is my final thought. Dan Harris, if you're out there and you can hear us, just send a text or a shout out to somebody. Please let us know you're okay. Please let us know that you're there and you're doing everything to get better. We talked in the group chat today. So Dan, shout out to Dan Harris. Please just send it out a text or a message or somebody saying,
because we're about to send people to your house, bro.
Yeah, we're about to DM Gary or Paul or whoever and send him to go looking for you. So
we miss you, Dan, and we all love you. So on that note, we're just going to get out of here, folks. We appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be back Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Central. We'll all be there talking God knows what, and more news and things like that. So be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe. Shout out to Bo for joining us in that first time. Yes. Next week on Thursday, we'll talk NFC. AFC. Tanner will get us a guest. We'll see you then, folks. Be a friend, tell us. Johnny, hit that outro, baby.
Life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy.